Okay, so this is a report that came a couple of days ago. So wanted to make this video, in the midst of the Malik Mustafa news because it's definitely better news than the Malik Mustafa situation. So off-season program for the 49ers started last Monday, and one of the biggest question marks was if Brock Purdy, Fred Warner, and George Kittle were going to show up to the off-season program and off-season conditioning because obviously they are currently in contract extension talks with the 49ers. So Brock Purdy showed up. That was a good thing. That kind of told me that, he's confident that the 49ers and his reps will get a contract extension done soon. So that was the good news that Brock Purdy showed up. Fred Warner also showed up. Whether he is close to a contract extension or not, I definitely kind of expected him to show up to the offseason program in the conditioning, just being the true leader that he is. And he did. He did show up. One guy that didn't was George Kittle. So obviously Kittle, there were reports that came out about, how he was seeking to be the highest paid tight end in the NFL, and that his holdout from the team and him not showing up to the voluntary workouts had been contract related. So the Athletic's Diana Rossini reported that San Francisco's offers to George Kittle have thus far been rebuffed, and then again noted that Kittle's holdout was indeed contract related. But the tight end himself, George Kittle, came out and disputed the report that he was holding out due to a contract dispute. And then obviously John Lynch kind of seemed to be unfazed at the issues when speaking to the media earlier this week. George Kittle ended up reporting to the 49ers and is back in the building as the 49ers kind of look to reset for the 2025 offseason. But this is very good news because obviously it's worth noting that all of San Francisco's core key players are in the building, regardless of whether they are dealing with something contract related or not. So again, Fred Warner reported, Brock Purdy reported as well. Trent Williams was in the building, indicating that he's kind of all good to go for the upcoming season. Trent Williams could also, obviously there were also kind of some reports that he could have potentially retire, following the 2024 season. A few months ago, he came out and said that he's ready to go and that he's not retiring. Trent Williams could probably play for the next 3 to 4 years if he wanted to and still be the best overall offensive lineman in all of football. So obviously this is big news because, one of the key players of this team is George Kittle. And, knowing that all of those guys are in the building, number one, that's a good example of just leadership, right? Like you want to kind of set the tone for some of these younger guys. And with those guys being in the building, even though they are in contract extension talks, speaks volumes on their leadership, how much they care. And really in all reality, how much confidence I think they have in, their teams getting contract extensions done with the 49ers. So, yeah, and again, it's a good look on the younger guys, right? Like, when some of these younger guys are in similar situations, they can look back at Kittle, Purdy, and Warner being in the building in the midst of their contract extension talks and think, you know what, those guys showed up, I'm going to show up as well. So that's pretty special when you have a group of guys like that because it's definitely tough to come by in the NFL. It's definitely tough to come by, when you're in contract extension talks. There's a lot of divas in the NFL. There's a lot of personalities in the NFL, and not everybody in contract extension talks shows up to these kind of things. But it's important that the 49ers core pieces showed up. That's a really good sign for the 49ers. And obviously, there was a lot of talk about Kittle not showing up at first and that it was contract related. It didn't seem like it was contract related. So that's something worth noting for the 49ers. So let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below. Again, George Kittle's back with the 49ers for the offseason conditioning. And again, he was the odd one out in all of this. But now that he's back, everybody's back in the building in the midst of Purdy, Warner, and Kittle's contract extension. So let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below. As always, go Niners. I'll see you guys in the next one.